Here we go. I'm Caleb Robertson. I'm from York and I live in York. I'm the 8th of 8 children, and I'm a little brother in my family and around most of my friends. And my life has been pretty unfocused up to this point because my childhood was completely full of experience. Frantic, wild, crazy are the most subdued words that I would use to describe it. This is my sister Sarah with her elementary school class. The assignment was to capture people in their element, and her face is doing everything that I believe that my parents did growing up. Everybody went to everything, and it wasn't just one thing that we did in a certain day. There was a lot of waiting, a lot of being late picked up, a lot of shuffling around. On this particular day, I assume that we did so much that riding a miniature cares, whatever those things are called, didn't even faze my dad. He wasn't even having fun. And this is my mom, and I'm more than likely just hit her with some preteen sass on her way out the door. And if you look in the corners of this photo, though, you'll see, as much as I was a pain to her, she kept the model magic in the upper right. Her house was a gallery, and this, our family would celebrate doing things even in public. This is my family outside of a Pizza Hut on Christmas Eve. Nearly everybody in that photo is lactose intolerant, but most years there's a theme when we go. Being a baby in a big family put me in a position to be a sponge, an observer, the entertainer. I was born and I grew up in a time of hurt feelings and muffled arguments, slammed doors. I was confused how love could do actions like that. How could such a loving family hold this weight? It was the elephant in the room, and it stuck out most of the time, as much as Seth sticks out in this photoshopped photo of a sibling, because he didn't stick around at family vacation long enough to be in the frickin' photo, Seth. The diagnosis was in. My family needed comedic relief. Our story was so climactic and so large for so long that we could all benefit from having a big yearly laugh. So in 2008, I began making scripted videos and skits, and we called them New Year's confession tapes, and that evolved into Thanksgiving film feasts. And thinking of my family as a movie with a beginning, a middle, and an end was pretty natural to me. I remember thinking that something I did could be the inciting incident that could bring everybody back to the happy ending. So I would journal and write titles, really crappy titles for movies on my journals. Seth, the shirtless guy from before, he was graduating basic training, and this journal page was from the trip down there. And if we had a moment to read it, we don't. I'll summarize it by saying, I got in the car at 10 in the morning. We left the driveway at 3 in the afternoon. We weren't even at the Maryland line before midnight. That was our life. And this do-everything desire came out in my work in college. And it wasn't the first time I was told I needed to calm down and focus. But it was the first time that came with a grade. I got a 62 out of 100, and you needed a 60 to stay in the major. I was pissed, and I didn't even want to be there anyways. Graphic design was a settle for me. I wanted to renovate. I wanted to make environments for people to come together. This is my parents' living room, and if I showed you the before picture, you would be reading my obituary tomorrow morning. I also want to pass down imagination like it was to me. There's enough people doing that with apps and coloring books. I want to take people somewhere and provide an environment for them to discover, believe in something that they can't see. And our wedding was very much about giving our guests an experience and thanking them for everything that they had done for us. Something as simple as not having a DJ with lights and giving people little finger lights just changed the evening, and people still bring up that day and that event and how powerful they felt flicking the little lights around. I believe in creating once-in-a-lifetime experiences because I love my people, and my people deserve the world. We bring our all to a game or to work, but imagine if you did that with your family. And that's exactly what I intend to do with my nephew Zachary. And like his lower third says there, Zachary is himself, and he is never anybody else. This is from an outdoor family movie night we had a few months ago. And Zach loves movies. I do too, but he definitely loves them more than I do. This is Zach getting ready to sleep over for one night. That's his movie bag. His clothes go in a different one. That's his duffel bag that he brings all his movies in. Zachary and Zach, the organization I'm starting, they deserve extravagance. They deserve first run, top of the line, top shelf, highly rated, experience in design. Zach doesn't need babied, and he doesn't even like being babied. He doesn't like being treated like a child. Zach likes to tell you that he's a man. My point in saying all of this is that when you're called to design something for somebody you perceive as having less than you do, you don't do less because you think that's all they need. You give them literally everything that you are capable of doing. I could have bought a TV and hung it on the wall, but we made Zach a personal movie theater. And pretty soon, in the next few weeks here, we're going to begin filming movie reviews and writing original shorts for movies that he's the star of. An unfocused life isn't bad, freaking teachers. It leads to adverse skill sets and interests and different thoughts. And it's exactly what I need on the next leg of my journey.